What's up, all my fellow speedsters and all metahumans throughout the multiverse? It's Cameron here. Welcome back to another video on the channel. So today, I want to try something a little bit different. This is something that's been kind of bugging me. It's been making me think really hard about this for the past few hours now, and I kind of wanted to make a video about it, just to make something different on the channel. And that is a theory that I've come up with. Now, I'm not going to take any credit for this theory since I'm pretty sure other people have thought about it too, and that is, does Monica now have powers after the events of WandaVision? Before I continue, I want to warn you all that this video will contain spoilers for the first 4 episodes of WandaVision, so you're not caught up, you have been warned. Also, before I get into it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a comment on this video, and feel free to share it, as I really want to get this video out there, and I really want you guys to really help me out, as we are so close to 1,000 subscribers. So hitting that subscribe button and sharing it would be really helpful for me. Okay, so how will Monica have powers? Well, I'll be getting into that. First, how could Monica have powers? Well, as we saw from the 4th episode, as it was recapping everything that happened in Westview from the outside world, we saw Monica get sucked into that little pocket dimension in Westview, or as I like to call it, the TV realm. And Monica was there for a good amount of time. They sent Darcy and a bunch of other sword agents and specialists after 24 hours, but it's very clear that she's been in there a little bit longer. It's now officially stated how long she was in there, so let's say about 2 to 3 days. And you're probably wondering, well, how would her staying in there give her powers? Well, it's this piece of dialogue that Darcy says. Now, I want to play the video clip, but Disney has been very strict on copyright lately, especially with reactions, so I would just be saying the quote. Darcy herself had mentioned that the field was contained massive amounts of CMBR, or cosmic microwave background radiation, and it's very safe for now. However, she does allude to the fact it will be harmful later on. So that piece of information could allude to the fact that Monica has powers, especially after getting thrown out of the dimension by Wanda. A mixture of that radiation and maybe even Wanda's chaos magic or Wanda's power storing her out, I do believe that could have created a reaction inside Monica herself and given her powers. Now you're probably wondering, well, isn't that a little far-fetched? Well, gamma radiation gave Banner his powers, and the explosion from the Space Stone gave Carol her powers, so what's to say that this doesn't give her powers? And now I will be going over who Monica is in the comics and why I believe that they will give her powers here. So, Monica Rambeau in the comics has gone by many different aliases, famously known as Captain Marvel, and I believe she is the 3rd Captain Marvel, but I could be wrong on that. Monica first got her powers from a energy disruptor weapon from a criminal scientist, giving her energy abilities. Her powers consist of energy form, transforming into any form of energy, appearance alteration, flight, super speed, intangibility, invisibility, energy duplication, energy absorption, energy blast, hypercosmic awareness, and eidetic memory. With all that out there, she's also been a part of a lot of different superhero groups, particularly the Avengers, Next Wave, Marvel Divas, Mighty Avengers, and the Ultimates. Monica was a part of the Avengers for a good while, up until Mar-Vell's son, Janice Vell, confronted her about her having that identity, and Monica decided to pass that identity down to Janice, and she took on the new identity as Photon. After some time, Janice took on that role as well, after Janice achieved newer powers, and after a confrontation, Monica went to a new identity called Pulsar, and most recently in the comics, I believe her current identity is known as Spectrum. So she's had a lot of identities. Now you're probably wondering, well, how does that tie into the MCU? Well, this is just a theory, but her gaining her powers I think is extremely likely. Here is why. 1, why would they reintroduce a character that had 5 to 8 minutes of screen time in Captain Marvel and reintroduce her into WandaVision? Now we already know WandaVision is going to tie into 2 MCU movies, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness and the 3rd MCU Spider-Man film. What's to say it won't set up any other characters? We don't know what they're going to do with Vision, whether they're going to revive him or what. So what's to say they won't make Monica a hero? Now, you're probably wondering, well, Carol is already Captain Marvel. So what identity would they give her? Well, there's 2 ways they could do this. 1, after Carol's trilogy is done, Carol will remain in space permanently and will let Monica have that identity of Captain Marvel, and she'll be the Captain Marvel of Earth, and Carol will be the Captain Marvel of space. I mean, Peter and Miles are coexisting in the same universe right now in the comics, and they're both called Spider-Man, so what's to say that they can't have two Captain Marvels? The other scenario is that they don't give her the Captain Marvel title, and they'll give her either Spectrum, Pulsar, or Photon, or any of those aliases. I personally believe this is very plausible, because like I said, why would they bring a character that people honestly barely even remember from Captain Marvel? Like, I actually had to Google that she was in Captain Marvel, and someone even had to tell me that she was in Captain Marvel. I think this could be very plausible. Now, I don't think Monica is going to be too important to the plot, because it's still a Wanda and Vision-centric story, because, you know, it's in the title. But her gaining powers is very likely, especially since the Avengers need as many All-Stars as they can get. After losing Tony, Steve, Natasha, Bruce is pretty much out of commission because Russo's confirmed the damage to his arm is permanent. And the Hawkeye show will most likely be about Clint passing down the mantle of Hawkeye to Kate Bishop. So Monica gaining her powers is, in my opinion, very likely. And I actually do think this theory is very plausible. Although there isn't too much evidence to support this yet, I do think it's very plausible. And yeah, that's pretty much the whole video. I know there's not a whole lot of evidence to support this, but I do think that this is extremely plausible. I know I said that 3 times, but tell me what you all think in the comments. Do you agree with me? Do you not? Tell me what your thoughts in the comments down below, because WandaVision is clearly setting some stuff up. Agnes, I am fully confident, is Agatha Harkness. I believe that's her name in the comics, and she's a very big character to Wanda's story, and if they're going to set that up, they could easily set up Monica becoming a new hero in the MCU, potentially even joining the Avengers in phase 5 or 6. So, yep, that's going to be the whole video. I might make an updated version of this at the end of WandaVision, or maybe after the next few episodes, if they have any more hints to Monica's powers. But anyway, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in and listening to me. I know this was a very lackluster video. It's kind of my first time doing a audio only video. Okay, it's not the first time, but it's the first time me using Audacity instead of OBS. And I'm still trying to get used to the software. But anyway, guys, yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in. Make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any future content. Feel free to follow me on Instagram, all that good stuff. And yeah, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. Also, guys, if you have any suggestions what you want me to do for my 1K special, because we are almost there, post in the comments down below. I would like to hear your suggestions. And yeah, if you agree with this theory, cool. If you don't agree with me, tell me why. I would like to get that debate rolling in the comments. And yeah, I'm going to end it right here. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next reaction or video. See you guys later.